8 years have passed since friends banded together and stood against the might of the Burning Legion. That means Legion was 8 years ago. Wow. Consequently, that was also the last time I played WoW with any sense of, well, anything. Hey, it's Jelly, and today I'm talking about what happens when I get into World of Warcraft and return as a player. Since Legion, I've logged in once in a while, messed around with friends, maybe farmed a mount or two, but I've had no actual interest in the game, the stories, or the grinds for a long time. I've played WoW on and off since vanilla, with some very long breaks over time, including the 8-year break I just mentioned. So I had to ask what it might be like to come back to the game. The War Within has my curiosity piqued, and I want to know if returning is even enjoyable. If you're wondering the same thing, well, here's what I've been up to. Not a ton has changed over time when it comes to character creation. It's pretty standard stuff, but it does look a lot nicer, especially with warbands. The updates on characters are pretty cool, and doing your starter thing is just as easy as I remember. You do have a choice between Exile's Reach or your starter zone. Exile's Reach is meant mostly for new players that need some hand-holding. For those of us who are experienced with MMOs in general, this may actually feel kind of boring, but it does get you to level 10 quickly, and it gets you some decent gear to start with. Whether you do Exile's Reach or a starter zone is really a personal choice. For this specific character, I went for the starter zone. Go to sleep! Personally, I chose to work myself through Legion, and it's not just because Khadgar is kind of a silver fox. Don't judge. Anyway, the reason why I did this is because I found out that the unique class hall rewards are still available, and getting through Legion would give me a head start on all of that if I decide to come back and do it later. There are a couple of quality of life changes that I think are kind of nice. Most importantly are mounts. Previously, you had to go purchase your riding and upgrade starting at level 20, and then you went, 30 and so on. Now you get riding immediately at level 10. No need to visit a trainer. After that, your riding upgrades by itself. You don't really have to worry about it. It's a very nice change, it gets you moving very fast, and you really don't have to worry about the gold. Then again, gold is kind of like candy right now. Leveling in general has become very streamlined. All of the old zones scale to your level, and you can just choose an expansion, go ham, or dungeon spam. When you feel like changing it up, just go talk to Chromie and make a change. Unless you're a new player. New players do need to do Dragonflight after leaving Exile's Reach until they get their first level 60. After that, Chromie time opens up for your ults. There's also a choice when it comes to dungeons or to questing, or doing a little bit of both. I'd say for DPS, doing dungeons and questing while in queue is the best bet, which that hasn't changed very much. Tanks and healers can still spam dungeons all the way to level 70 if they want to. That's still a guaranteed instant queue. The dungeons weren't really that bad either. Some of them were fairly chatty, fairly helpful, and fun to do. Sure, there were a few asshats, but that's kind of the law of averages. There are several options on where to go and what to do. It's kind of a never-changing mix of questing dungeons and a little exploring or doing some side things. If you really want to focus on it, then you're going to kind of do the good old meta of dungeon spamming and questing in between. All of this gets you to current content very quickly, but some methods do go a little faster than others, and that would of course be dungeon spamming. So what about the folks who want to catch up with the story? You are dealing with a game that has 9 expansions behind it. I cannot personally begin to suggest how to consolidate all of that story into something for new players. I wouldn't know how to do it. It seems like for now the best way to experience a story you missed is to simply just go back through that expansion when you have access to Chromie time. There is always the option of looking up the cutscenes online to catch up. When I didn't play during Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands, that is exactly what I did, so I still feel like I'm pretty caught up with the story, and my opinions on that will remain my own. Currently, we are in the War Within pre-patch, which brought us warbands. That is a brand new feature where several things can be shared across your account. It's so nice to have some reputation and shared banks for certain things, and I actually really like the login screen too. With the pre-patch, it takes even less time to get from one level to the next, and dungeon spamming is absolutely where it's at, again. Blizzard does want you in current content as quickly as possible, and frankly, I'm okay with that. I know my opinion here is subjective, but I've already played these expansions, and as much as I enjoyed some of them, I don't need to replay them again and again and again. I know new players will want to do it, and for now, Chromie Time is the answer for that. All in all, my experience leveling up was actually nice. It was streamlined, and I had plenty of options on what to do and where to go. There was nothing pushing me one way or another except for to current content. Sure, I found some more efficient ways to level, but if I felt like going off to the side and doing something else, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. Blizzard has made it very easy for returning players to come back to the game and pick things back up. As I said, leveling is quick, it's streamlined, and you're in current content within about a week of casual play, if that. It has been a long time since I've truly enjoyed my experience in World of Warcraft, but I have to say, being able to come back, jump in, and get pushed into current content like that, it was a good experience. And the Dragonflight story? I don't hate it. I know, there's a lot of hate for World of Warcraft right now, but sorry guys, I can't jump on that hate train anymore. I am very much looking forward to the War Within in August, and I cannot wait to tell you guys what it's like coming back to WoW.